Dogs can sense when people are kind and loving. So my name's Connie Cruz. I am a volunteer at the animal shelter on Foster Road, and I've been volunteering for 6.5 years. Oh, let's see here. Okay, so my son, Caleb Cruz, was a volunteer at the shelter too, with me. Got involved volunteering because of him. But he had a gift with animals, and I believe dogs can sometimes sense when somebody is ill. And Caleb had a severe heart and lung condition that eventually took his life a couple months ago in January. I met Angel. She was in the back of her kennel, and it really was sad. And she would just look at me like, please don't, look up, and just very hesitant and very fearful, very scared. And so I ended up taking chicken, like boiled chicken for the dogs. And I went in the back of her kennel where she was, and I just laid the chicken around, and then I opened up the door and had to coax her to get out. And then once I took her outside past the shelter and into the parking lot and sat there with the curb, and I was like, oh my gosh, such a difference. So then when I was finished with her and outside, I took her back in the kennel, and then about 15 minutes later, I wanted to see her reaction to me after I was working with other dogs, and I went back through, and she had her paw out to me. So we, in such a short time we bonded, but doesn't mean she would bond like that with everybody. And Angel, she didn't see her sister Angel for a while because Angel was in the clinic due to an injury that when she came in with. But when they saw each other for the first time, it was sweet. And they were, running around like you see them now. Yeah, so, and Angel was more hesitant to come up and meet you, but now she's out of her shell too. One of the hardest things I think also with volunteering is, seeing the ones that are so fearful, and you have to wonder what happened to you that you're like this. I believe they were abused, I would think. It took a lot of work, from all of us, the volunteers and the staff, to bring them out of their shell. And I think by them being at the desk, oh my gosh, it's helped them tremendously. Yeah, and we do that at the animal shelter to socialize the dogs, and see how they react to people. And so you want to bring them all home. But I think that's where the volunteering helps. And people will tell you, oh, I can't volunteer because I want to bring them all home. But if we didn't have volunteers, then it's hard for staff to do, to go out there and take care of them when they have jobs to do. So volunteering is what helps. It's that connection in between that. And it's so rewarding. It's really rewarding. So. Even on his worst days when he did not feel good at all and should have been laying in bed asleep, resting, he would tell me, I gotta go see Angel and Halo. And so I would bring him down here and take him outside, and it was just sweet. They had a special bond. It reminds me of what he stood for with the animals. And I got involved with the animals because of that. And we want to start a foundation for him right before he passed. It was his idea. He wanted to help the animals more than he already was helping, and but was not able to be around to help to see that grow. Gabe did go to a rescue and got adopted, and I know the people that adopted him are very happy with him, but it took work. You just don't take a fearful dog, from a shelter because you don't know what kind of environment they've come from. But you can always think, okay, it's probably the worst environment you would ever want to see. I think when you know that your efforts are being out there for all of the dogs, and you care so much about them, and you want every one of them to find a home, and that's probably not going to happen. But if it weren't for the rescues and the Humane Society to take the dogs, then we really, have a hard time. Now they're here at the Humane Society, and they're enjoying life, and we're trying to find them both a good home. They're lovable dogs, and you take them from being in such a shell to now when you see them just so happy to see you and stuff. And I think they will bond with the right people, and you'll get that same reaction. I would think so. But a fearful dog can be a little frightening to work with because you don't know if they're going to react, to you or not. But it's building that trust. And I've seen many dogs that are fearful come around and with trust and then get adopted and are doing great. So.